Hello, people. How are you?
Hello, Facebook. How are you?
My name is Rudy. I'm going to be underrated, right?
So this is Serena Vasegi, and Serena is the speaker who can't speak and the writer who can't
And
write.
you just want to do
And I'm Jamila Doolin, who Serena calls his right-hand woman.
my job is to inspire women. I hope they do it.
Right, so Serena's job is to inspire you, it's to motivate you, and it's to help you achieve your goals.
And I do like to book coaching, I like that. I love it. I love it.
Right, Serena does that through books, through coaching, through online classes, through keynotes, and the list just kind of goes on and on.
If you want to know more, go to channel.com. Link is in the description.
Right. So if you want to learn more about that, you can just, hop on over to serenab.com, and there's all kind of information about what Serena does. And in fact, to make it easy, what we did was we included a link in the description.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about something that I know it's something about. I'm going to talk about
You want to talk about focus, and you want to talk about challenges.
Yes.
Okay. That sounds interesting today. Let's hear about it.
And it's very nuanced discussion.
It's a nuanced discussion.
Yeah, because well, people do they know or on the other hand, they focus the aspect of everything they can do.
Okay, I don't think I got all of that. Could you give me the beginning one more time, please?
Because both do the ignore the challenges or the upset over the challenges.
Okay, so you said the problem is that people either ignore their challenges
Yeah.
or they do the exact opposite extreme, which is they obsess over
Yeah.
over their challenges. So it's one or the other.
And I have them both.
And you know this because you've been there.
Yeah, I have them both. I have them both.
You've done both.
Yeah. You know what? I did. Yeah, let me see a story.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, my disability didn't get in the way like he thought it would.
Okay, so what Serena said was that when he was growing up, his disability didn't get in the way of his life the way people assumed that it would.
Because I had a good friend, I had a good family.
Right, and this is because you had good friends, you had a really good family, and you felt supported, right?
Everyone in my age needed them, right?
And you felt like you fit in because everybody around you at that age needed help from their parents. Can you give examples?
Getting
Right, because so Serena said getting rides to friends' houses. I mean, let's just face it. Before 16, everybody had to get a ride, right?
Yeah. Even after we took my family to America, I would share my credit card. I would take
That's so awesome. Serena said even after 16, what his friends would do is throw his chair in the back of the car and just keep going.
Yeah, I have a chair that in the merge. I have one chair that was in the merge.
So you had the one chair that wasn't motorized.
Yeah, you just put it up, so I see that, I would just go.
And that chair, you could just fold it, collapse it down, fold it, put it in the car, and off you guys go.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. You just did what you had to do and had a good time.
Yeah. So I can't do that animal with disability.
So you didn't really have a understanding of what your disability really meant.
And it was awesome.
And it was awesome.
A couple years in community college, I started thinking about everything I could do.
And then a couple of years into community college, you started thinking about all the things that you couldn't do.
Because I was looking at other things to get more independence.
Because as your friends got older, they became more independent.
So I became focused on everything I could do.
And then all the things that Serena couldn't do became more exposed.
And I became obsessed.
And then at that point, you became obsessed.
Yeah, but I wouldn't focus on is how do I do reality?
But you want to focus on how to make your dreams a reality.
I was not.
You weren't focused on that.
Everything I can do.
Right. So Serena said he was just focused on everything that he could not do. So rather than thinking about the things you could do, all you thought about was what you couldn't do. And so what did that do for you, Serena? I'm just curious.
That took me into everything. That took me into everything. I was the biggest on my handicap.
And so, all right, so by focusing on what you couldn't do, then you started to feel like a victim of your handicap.
Yeah, I wanted to do something. I wanted to do too much. But my brain was not allowing me to do it.
Because you wanted to do all kinds of things, but your body was like, I don't think so.
And I did about almost 11 months.
And you did this for about
11 months.
11 months.
I was miserable.
You were miserable.
And one day my boyfriend called me and he goes, USC. USC.
And so your friend called because your friend was at USC.
And he was, it's awesome. It's awesome having you here.
And what he told you was this: hey, look, USC is awesome, and you should be here.
And I got this one. I don't want that. I'm going to USC.
Right, and then you told your father that you were going to USC.
And yeah, I said, you.
Right, and so your father, of course, being your dad, asked you, hey, how are you going to do that? And you said, I don't know.
Yes, but I wanted to go.
But what you did know was that you wanted to go.
Yeah, there was only one issue.
And what was the one issue?
I was scared to go.
And so the issue was that even though your mind said, hey, I want to go, your body was still handicapped, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I couldn't just say that. I needed to, I had to engage in a different way.
Right, so someone said, look, it's not like I could just sit back and say, well, I want to go to USC and I can just ignore this handicap. No, because it's there. It's part of your life. It's part of your experience. It's not going away. It's there, right?
I do anybody effort. Everything in my life.
Right, you can't ignore it because it affects everything in your life. It affects everything you do. It affects your interactions. It touches everything.
But I have to keep my focus. I can't So how can I?
Right. So in order to make this so in order to make this idea of going to USC work, one, you had to admit that, hey, the handicap is going to be there, right?
Yeah.
And then you had to say, okay, you had to change your focus. And that focus had to be what again?
How would I get a conversation with an individual?
Yeah, how was I going to go to USC with this? Not, I can't because of this. Instead, it was, how am I even with this circumstance?
Yeah, if we do a formula, if we did who are different from me.
Right. And you have to understand how far this goes. See, being in the chair isn't just, it affects how I get to class and where I sit in class. No, it goes beyond that.
That's the easy part.
Yeah, that's the easy part. It's not about, can I find a spot in the path?
That's no problem.
Right, that's the easy part, right? Yeah, the easy part is getting from one end of campus to the other. Right, the hard part is, hey, you know what? Who's going to be my roommate?
Do you know how fast this shit goes?
Is it like 10 miles per hour?
She's pretty fast.
6 miles per hour?
Yeah, it goes like a brisk jog.
Like a what?
Brisk jog. A jog.
Like a brisk jog. So everybody else is walking across campus and you're jogging.
Yes, no, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun now.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So once again, getting from one end of campus to the other, you could navigate that with very little issue.
Yeah.
Being able to get to the library, not a problem. A place to sit in the caf.
No problem.
Yeah, you knew you had a good brain, so it wasn't like grades were a concern.
Yeah, so my
What was your biggest concern?
how would you get it? How would you get it? How would you get it?
How you going to eat your lunch?
Yes.
Okay, so the biggest concern Serena had was how was he going to eat lunch?
How would you get
and how you were going to take a shower in the morning. And who was going to help you with your homework. Not understand your homework, but actually get your homework from your head into a place where you could actually turn it in. Right, and so you had to give a lot of thought and focus to, hey, how is this all going to work? Which is really interesting because, when you go to school and the wheelchair isn't an issue, at least for me, some of my concerns were, am I going to get lost? Who's going to be my roommate? Not because I needed help, but just, are we going to get along? You had the added issue of, hey, are we going to get along and can you help me? I had a concern that, am I going to be able to do the schoolwork? Not, yours was, I can just do the schoolwork. Mine was, is it going to be too hard? It's just interesting to me to think about how sometimes we all have challenges. Yeah, and we don't recognize that they're very similar to other people's.
But the thing, if I never got
If you didn't change your focus.
I would never got
right. And let's reemphasize, you changed your focus from thinking about how your disability stops you from doing things to thinking about how it is you could do things even with the disability.
Yeah.
Right. So it went from a completely negative way of looking at things to figuring out how.
Let me talk about you.
Okay, you're going to talk about other people for a second?
Yeah,
Which is a very obvious example.
some other examples that
There's other examples that don't
involve me.
involve you.
Let's say that you want to open up a company and you want to go into for yourself.
Let's say you want to go into business for yourself.
Yeah. And you don't have any business entrepreneur experience.
Right, and you don't have any entrepreneurial experience.
You can either focus on that or you can focus on what do I need to do to get entrepreneur experience.
Right, you can either focus on what you don't have, or you can focus on, hey, what am I going to do to get that entrepreneurial experience?
Read books.
Yeah, you could say start by reading books.
Yeah, undergrad.
You can take some classes.
You can go to school.
You can go to school. You can get an internship.
You can go to school.
You can go to
Score. Yeah. Some Score is a nonprofit.
Oh, Score is a nonprofit.
They have business people want to give you business advice.
Oh, but there's business people. So listen to this. Score. Thank you, Serena. I can't wait to tell people. Score is a nonprofit, and I guess their mission is to help people start businesses.
Yeah, and they have entrepreneurs who volunteer for free.
Right, and there's entrepreneurs there who volunteer for free to help other people in their quest to achieve in the business world. Correct?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So that's a resource that, if you're sitting there and you're watching and you're listening, you might want to just kind of make a note of that, mental note, written note, something, so that you don't forget, because that could be very useful.
Man. The thing that you into and you just get scared.
Yeah, let's say that the challenge that you're facing is fear.
I would put at every point that it's scary. Let me admit that can be scary. Let me admit that it's scary.
Right, going after an amazing life can be scary.
Yeah, it's scary for me. It's scary for everyone.
Oh yeah, there's all types of fear. All types of fear.
Yeah. It's fear of knowing, fear of failing.
Right, there's the fear of not knowing. There's the fear of failing. There's the fear of succeeding.
Yeah,
I know it sounds crazy, but it's there.
I do.
You have that. Yeah. The fear of success.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of it's hard to deal with. But what were you going to say, Serena?
You can either the SIV or focus on it. Focus on working with that fear.
Right. You can either let that fear stop you, or you can do what Serena's just said, which is focus on, working through that fear.
How do you work through that fear?
How do you work? All right, so Serena just posed a question, which you're probably asking, which is, okay, so you told me to work through that fear, which would be, now what's the next question? How?
How do you focus? How do you focus on your dreams? What continue fear?
How do you focus on your dreams?
What continue fear?
While
concerning
concerning your fear? Confronting your fear.
Yeah.
While confronting your fear. All right, so how do you do it?
You can get into support. You can get into support.
You can get into a support group.
You can hire psychologist.
You can hire a psychologist.
But I believe it as someone or everything to get a psychologist.
You think everybody needs to go to a therapist at some point?
I think
That's just your personal, okay. You know, one of the things I do, and not that I've confronted every fear that I have, because Lord knows I haven't, but one of the things that I have found helpful is just positive self-talk.
Yes.
I know it sounds simple, and maybe it's, maybe it's just something that works for Jamila, but, just, hey, look, you've done things before that you were afraid of, and you can do this. Things like that. Read biographies, yes.
Every meaningful went through something.
Right. Almost any biography you read, if the person's come out on the other side successful, you can guarantee they went through something first.
You look at Oprah, you look at Snap, you look at anybody, me.
Yeah.
They went through something horrible, and they came out on the other side.
Right. So we're just saying you can look at Oprah, you can look at Steve Jobs, you can look at just all types of people, and you can guarantee that they went through something. It didn't just happen, and so you can use that as a source of inspiration for you.
And then one of the people that we hang out with,
The people we hang out with? They validate our victimhood. Or you can hang out with people who don't, and who push you not to be a victim, but to push you to do more.
So again, I every time I have an issue, I know exactly what it's called. I know exactly what it's and they will be somebody all the time.
Right. So Serena said, look, when I have a problem, if I want to feel like a victim, I've got friends I can call for that. I know exactly who they are. They will meet me in my victimhood, and we can go down that pity party trail together, right? Right, and that's how you can focus on your limitations in a negative way. But
I got other friends.
You have other friends.
Yeah. Right,
then there's other friends, they'll tell you straight up, you know what, you need to get over yourself, and you need to fix this, and you need to figure it out, and let's keep going. Yeah. You said I do that all the time for you. Well, thank you. I'm glad to be of use.
You know what? We do some stuff at my company.
Yeah, it's a company, and just like any other place of business, things come up. They do. Things come up. There's always something thrown. You think it's going to go left, it goes right. This stuff.
Okay, let's focus on the solution rather than the problem.
Yeah, and then you said I tell you to do what? Focus on the
solution rather than the problem.
Yeah, focus on the solution, not the problem. I would like to say that I got that just because I'm smart that way. That's not how it happened. I actually have to give credit to somebody for that. There's this man that I live with, called my husband, and I have a natural habit. And this is a good example of what you were talking about you have friends that'll let you wallow in what you can't do, or you have people that'll kick you in your butt and say, get over yourself. Every time I tell him, well, I can't do this, his response is, I really don't care what you can't do. Don't tell me what you can't do. Tell me what you can do.
We have a lot of food on the negative. We have a lot of food on the negative.
Right. So we're naturally wired to focus on the negative. I'm sorry. I'm kind of, there we go. Exposed a little much. Sorry, everyone. So we're naturally wired to focus on the negative.
It's hard to focus on all the time.
Right, and it's true. It's challenging to focus on the positive all the time. And you know what? Now, if I'm wrong, tell me. Don't you feel like people might look at you like you're a little crazy if you're always thinking about the positive? Like it almost seems unnatural.
It's not productive.
It's not productive?
Yeah. For example, this is the LGSD. And I can look how many shop. Listen, LGSD.
Alright, so let's assume that when you had gone to USC,
I can look how many shop.
right, you didn't even acknowledge the shower issue, you didn't think about it.
Yeah. So you can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that because that problem's going to be there.
So this is the entrepreneur kids.
Right, let's say you're an entrepreneur with kids.
You have to be flexible.
Right, your schedule has to be flexible enough that you can incorporate the fact that you have children. Like you have to deal with them. You can't just forget about the fact that you have. Well, I guess you could, but you probably don't want to be that parent who forgets that they have children.
You need to find other family. You need to take precautions.
You need to take precautions.
Yeah, what you need to have family members.
You need to have family members.
Okay,
yeah, you need to have people who can help you. Because I know in my case it's not family members. I have other people who can help. But whoever it is, you need to have that support team that can help you and say, hey, I can pick up the kids, or I can, do this, and vice versa. You need to be able to help them too, because it's not a one-way street.
I can't do how much of my business I improved my degree.
Serena just said he can't tell you how many or how much his business processes are influenced by
my degree.
His disability.
Yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But then how do you get everything you want without obsessing over your limitations?
So then the question is, how do you get everything you want without obsessing over your limitations?
It's very delicate. It's very delicate balance.
Right, it's a very delicate balance.
Yeah.
Right, because if you obsess, then you won't move forward.
Yeah, but if you ignore it, you wouldn't get challenges.
I'm sorry?
If you ignore your challenges, it will not work.
Right, but at the same time, you can't ignore your challenges because the fact is they're there. They have to be addressed. So you have to address your challenges without obsessing over your challenges. It's kind of a fine line, kind of like a tightrope you have to walk on.
It's kind of Goldilocks.
Kind of like Goldilocks.
Yeah.
Not too little. Not too much. Just right. You know what that told me? You have a preschooler. Because who else remembers that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a preschooler. And you have a first grader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that will tell you, in order to do everything will be okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people who will tell you, you know what, just ignore your limitations and it'll all be okay.
And that every people,
Yeah, it could be the recipe for disaster, because let's do this. When's the last time you ignored a problem and it just went away? Let's think about that. Have you ever just ignored a problem and it went away? It stopped being a problem?
No.
No. No.
I come ago, I began a project and one of my team members emailed me. I don't know the way it's going, and I ignored it because it a lot of time and a lot of money.
So you had a situation where somebody told you something, they were not excited about how things were going for you.
Yeah.
They had concerns. You ignored it,
Yeah.
and in the end, it ended up costing you money. Because problems don't just fix themselves. Challenges don't just go away. They're there. And you have to deal with it.
The hope will have to decide how do you deal with it in a way that you don't. How do you deal with it in a way where you move forward but now you're back?
All right, so let's get back to what we said, right, Serena?
Yeah.
Which was, and you just said it, how do you deal with your challenges and not obsess over them?
Yeah.
All right, so how do you do it?
You need to be clear on what you want and what you want.
You need to be clear on what you want.
Yeah, and what you want.
Then you need to be clear on why you want it.
Number two, you need to be clear on what you're trying to get and how to do it. Right.
I like that. Then once you know what you want and why you want it, then you need to look at your challenges and take an honest assessment of what they are and how they challenge you, like what they're causing, right?
Yeah. And every year I learn a little more about my disability. Every year I learn a little more about my disability.
Right. So Serena just said that every year he learns a little more about his disability.
Yeah. I just there's that's what I want to do. I don't know.
Right. So last week Serena learned something about his disability that he didn't know. Now you've had this disability your whole life. And and last week you learned something you didn't know about it. That's just amazing to me.
Yeah. And I think really I want to be with my family.
All right, so quickly, you went to Vegas with your family.
And when I'm Vegas, I like to go by myself.
Right, so when Serena goes to Vegas, he likes to go, even with the family. At some point, you just kind of want to sneak off by yourself.
So when I'm Vegas, I feel that
Right, and Serena said that when he's in Vegas, he feels like super independent, which is a big deal.
I live in LA.
Right. So what Serena said was, it's a big deal because, so here in LA, just to even go to the market a lot of times, you need a car. So for you, going to Vegas is different because you can go out and do things and all you need is your chair. Yeah.
So my identity is
Your itinerary in Vegas. Your identity in Vegas
is independence.
Yes.
I want to say, like, I went to the table.
You went to the blackjack table?
And then the assistant was you.
And then the dealer asked you where your assistant was?
Yeah. Logically, I knew she was in the house. Logically, I knew.
So up in here, logically, you knew that she was just trying to help.
But
in here,
I was hurt.
You were hurt. Yeah.
I was hurt. Why was it hurt?
And so then you asked yourself, why were you hurt?
And then I figured out. I called it later.
And then a few days later, you figured it out.
She hurt my identity.
She hurt your identity.
I'm not the disability. I'm 41. I'm 42. I don't know what disability.
Right. So Serena's 41, almost 42, and he learned that nugget about his disability and its effect upon him. But now that you know that, you know it's there.
Yeah, I know how to deal with it. I know.
And now you know how to deal with it.
But like again, I could easily.
Well, come say hi to everybody. Get on camera. Come over here. Tell everybody hi. They're watching you. Say hi to them.
Hi.
This one too. Yeah, come over here. Yeah, there you go. Say hi. Wave.
Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
What's your name? Andrew. And what's your name? Tyler. All right. Are you guys off to go have a good summer day?
Yes.
All right. You're going to tell everybody bye? Turn around and say bye to the people.
Bye. Bye, camera.
Bye. Bye. Would you close the door on your way out too, please?
Okay.
Thank you. Coaches love having visitors.
Yeah, like, so the thing is that, okay, what would be easy? What would be easy
What would be easy
for me to do?
for you to do?
You can't I have to leave, and I really do.
Right, so it would have been easy like to just call your friends up and tell them what happened when you went to Vegas. Hey, I was at the blackjack table and this woman, the dealer, she was just so rude to me, asked me where my attendant was, and you could have had an attitude about it. Or you could have been
I'm 41.
And you can say, I'm 41, she's asking me where my grown-up is.
I'm like, no, let's figure out the phone.
Right,
Let's deal with it.
right, but instead, what you did was, okay, that's not going to work. Roll it back, and let's approach this differently.
I need to take one that get that in the different.
And from that, they will block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read the news. I'm sorry, I'm like,
Right. So you were able to write something quickly because you really thought about it and it was really personal to you.
I need to.
And what now?
You can find it in a situation.
And it factored into this situation. Yeah.
So let's wrap up.
You want to wrap up?
So now, please, you will focus on your dreams and living.
Right, so the whole point is this. You want to focus on your dreams and you want to focus on your limitations. But you need to do it at the same time.
Yeah, although you don't want to be defined for limitation, they're going to define how you do things.
Right, so you don't want to be defined by your limitations.
But they're going to define how you do things.
But they can define how you do things.
Not
Not what you do, but how you do.
I got me,
Yeah.
But I want to get into it. No, but you got to be willing to make the hard decision. Your goals, not your decisions.
But you have to learn how to make the heart of your life your dreams, not your limitations.
You need to make a plan for your dreams.
You have to make a plan for your dreams
And then
and then weave in your limitations around that. Whatever they are, weave them in around what it is you want to do.
And
Right. And those limitations can be anything. But what you're ultimately saying is, have your dreams, but don't let your limitations control you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I want you to get website.
Okay, so the website again is serenav.com.
And
again, there's a link in the description. Yeah, there's links to the blog that this is based on in that description. Yeah, and you know what? Go have a great weekend. And even more importantly, go be amazing. All right, so thank you so much for joining us. We can't wait to do this for you again, and we just hope you love it. Go to serenav.com, read the blog, learn about Serena, and get some even more tips on how you can make your life even more amazing. Thank you so much, and have an amazing, amazing day.